I was reading up fucked up stories, but somebody sent me, at least 3 people have sent me on the same one. It was in Germany. You heard about the mink cull.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a big mink cull going on here. Is that a fucking mink on your lap at the minute?
Yeah, that's our little mink.
Lethal. Absolutely fucking lethal.
Blind. Can't see your eyes. My camera's no good. Little blind cat.
Is she blind? Why does that immediately become adorable? Why do blind animals become fucking adorable straight away?
Well, blind cats are like little fucking ninjas. So, like, there's nothing adorable about them.
What's the deal?
In England there, a few months ago, some woman had a blind cat. That's why I read the article, and someone tried to break into her house. The cat fucking fucked them up. The cat but she's the same. Like, if you came in here now, she'd just go full on ninja, Mr. Miyagi, fucking.
How the fuck does she operate? Like, you know what I mean? As a blind cat, like, I mean, how does she get grub? You know what I mean? Know to take a piss in the right place.
Yeah. I don't know. She, like, literally will follow the walls. So, like, we were all playing poker one day, and when the lads were getting some laugh off her, because, like, she'll literally go along the walls. Like, if she needs to get to the door, and the door's here, she'll walk up the wall, across the wall, back down, out the door. So she uses the walls to navigate some of the time. But then,
crafty bastard.
You put a bit of furniture, like you move a bit of furniture, you put a suitcase down in the way, she'll literally go boom, straight into it. Boom. And just acts like nothing happened then. Just trot off.
Did she get her blind, or did she? I'm not saying you got her blind, like you got her tested and said we need this cat's eyes gone to make her more adorable.
Yeah, she's just too much. Yeah, no, she was like, it was Galway Cat Rescue. They found her and her sister, 2 of them blind as kittens, and we were living in an apartment at the time. We were up on the first floor, so we couldn't really have animals, but she had to be kept indoors. So I said, like, let's just adopt her. She can't go outside anyway. So, but yeah, little bitch now, but fucking, she's grand as that. You know?
Yeah, well, try having a fucking lunatic of a dog. Try having that, and now the dog and the child have teamed up, and it's fucking mayhem. So,
yeah. The Instagrams are some laugh with the baby pulling the dog around the place. You know, he's going to be sturdy now, that child.
I would
like, putting that dog off, like.
I didn't think I thought it was a normal thing until people started getting in contact going, that's not normal, Tom. Jesus Christ, like, you're... we froze for a split second. But I genuinely thought all these things are normal out of a child. And as per what people have been telling me, no. But he instigated it. Like, he goes over to the dog with a fucking teddy, smashes the dog across the face. The dog's like, all right, game on. And people say that your first child, you'll be real precious with it, you know, or whatever, and that he won't, you'll have to be, you know, extra careful and I've seen it, like, you know what I mean, where the first child be a bit of an old pussy, like, you know, a small bit, like, and then all of a sudden the second child comes on and they're hard as nails because they're like, fuck it, it's grand. But I don't know, I'd say that fella be all right anyway. He's since day dot, he's been his own fella. Do you know, that kind of way? It's like, he'll give the odd old hug to herself, like, but with me, it's like, you're grand. Tone it down. Jesus Christ.
I wonder if we take after the rugby roots.
I don't know. Our plan is to move, as I said on the podcast, our plan is to move back down the country anyway, so I'd say we'll be going closer to Tip. So you wouldn't know. I don't give a fuck what he does, so long as he's fucking does something, scratching his bollocks, like, did you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was saying about the mink, and there was a fucking amazing story. And essentially what they were doing, the army were out culling mink in somewhere in the countryside in Germany. And they had thousands of them got. They had fucking thousands of them got. And rather than burn them or whatever, the directive was to bury them in a mass grave in Germany, which is, you know yourself, like, it's... You don't have to join the dots to go too far back, like, you know what I mean? But you think they know what they were doing, but they didn't. It turns out they said, listen, the minimum you have to put these under the ground, minimum is 150 mil, 6 inches. You got to do minimum of that with earth. They got to be down at least 6 inches. The boys, of course, just fucking rushed the job, fucked them all on the ground. Only covered them with the guts of about 3 or 4 inches of soil. They all started swelling up with the gas from being dead. Thousands of these fuckers. One big giant mink fucking dead orgy just under the ground. And after about a week, they all started fucking popping back up through the earth. Oh, yeah, they all started swelling up and busting up through the fucking earth. How good is that?
Fucking hell, it's like a horror movie.
Who wouldn't want to be just, oh my God, who wouldn't want to be around when that starts happening? Just once, just go on. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Oh, fucking hell.
Now, apparently, like, I mean, as I said, do you think they'd have their shit together, you know, when it comes to digging mass graves and what? But they didn't. They've changed. If ever there was a sign that Germany has changed, Dave, they have changed.
Oh, fucking hell. There's so much you can say wrong.
Oh, I know. And it gets to the point where it's nearly too hacky because it's been done to death before. You're like, but in fairness, referencing a story, it's all right. Yeah, you know, I didn't come up with that. Like, you know, that story wrote itself. But I'm telling you, it's the way to go. People, I was saying it before, that don't be reading any of the newspapers. Just, if you want good stories, go to Reddit's weird shit. It's glorious.
There's a lot of shite on it as well, though,
like, listen, don't get me wrong. There's some dirt. But if you can go straight to exactly what you're looking for, the weird world, if you go, you'll find the weird shit. Like that's where I found out about Joanne first, to chop her own hand off with the skill saw. Like,
come on, like,
amazing. Still, I wonder where she's at now. Like, you know what I mean? Sitting in a prison cell and being asked by somebody, well, how'd you end up here? Well, sit down there and I'll tell you a fucking story. Jesus Christ. See that scar around my wrist?
That's why you wear a watch all the time.
You fucking, like, sometimes scars have a cool fucking story, but there's no talking your way out of that one without sounding like a complete langer. What? You let your man and his fucking parents talk you into that shit? Are you stupid bitch? Jesus Christ Almighty! I was thinking too, because I was on about, there was a bit on it there was about a one who, this is a fear, an inherent fear that I've had forever. But you know, when you send money, did I send it to the right account? You know what I mean? Or will it bounce back if it's not the fucking right? Everybody has it. And a one actually did it. And she came back on Twitter and she'd asked her man, she went, I'm after sending it to you wrong. And I can't have that money go fucking missing. Like, I need it. And your man actually sent it straight back to her. Yeah, like, you'd never think somebody, but then you kind of hope that fucking somebody would, like.
Yeah, I suppose you would. Well, yeah, you would. I don't know. It's grand when you find money, you pick it off the ground.
Yeah.
Off the ground, then actually someone sending it to you and then coming back and going, actually.
What's the most you ever found on the ground?
Probably like 20 £20. Actually.
Is it that far back?
Yeah, like I probably found €20, but pound would be more. I actually remember years ago down in Tremor, you know, all the holidays.
Yeah.
My aunt brought me to the pub, you know what the typical thing.
Yeah.
Bring you to the pub, sitting outside the pub playing with all the friends. And there was a wallet on the ground, or a purse, and I picked it up. And I was afraid to even look at it. I was going, looking at it because it felt full of money.
Yeah.
Being like the good smart and good boy, brought it into my aunt, and she was like, she opened it, and I remember at the time, I didn't realise afterwards, her eyes kind of bulged like, and then she was like, oh, what was in it? And she was, oh, there's just £20 in it. And I was like, all right. And then she said to bring it up to the Garda station. So we brought it up to the Garda station, handed it in, and they said to me, now you get to keep it. If it's not claimed within a certain amount of time, you get to keep that. And I was going, oh, £20, that's brilliant. But the next day, the person who owned the purse came down and got it, and then she was delighted, and she came up to me and handed me £20. And I was going, jeez, that's great. Like, you have to give me all the money she had just to get her purse back. You know, lady. It wasn't until years ago I was telling my auntie when I was up drinking about it, and she goes, "Jesus, it was about £700 or pound." money that was fucking there. And I was there going, fucking £20. Delighted with myself.
Hold on 1 second. Did your aunt clear out 680 quid out of that fucking purse?
Just come back. Yeah. There you go. No, literally, they got their £700 back and gave me 20 out.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I did find £700 technically, but I didn't know about it till about 15 years after.
Fucking hell.
So.
I once a month, the odd five or two in your arse pocket after the wash, like there's nothing like it, finding a few quid. I think the most I ever found was like a tenner. But I found myself and the brother bought an old house years ago. We did it up. And the fella I had to do the guttering, he fucking died. And we ended up doing it ourselves. And it was 500 quid to do the guttering was the job. And I'd forgotten I had that cash taken out of the bank and set aside in behind a drawer. And I was moving 3 years later. He man is dead, gone. Company gone. It was just him. And it wasn't like his brother carried it on or anything. And he did a bit of the work. And he wasn't feeling like he went off and did another fucking job. And then he said, I'll be back to you next month. And he fucking croaked. So he was due some money anyway. But I found on a Saturday evening, Dave, it was like November. You know what I mean? You're fucking bust from paying the mortgage, fucking killed. I found 500 fucking quid down the back of the drawers.
Tasty.
Oh, just fucking glorious stuff. Never again has that never happened like that where I found that kind of fucking money. But, oh, sweet suffering Jesus was good.
Yeah, it's mad. You still get excited now you find an L5 or some line somewhere or even, you kind of know, you find it and you go, I know I had that I put that in my pocket back then.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's a £5. It's like you won. And then it's a £5, it's not like going to break the bank.
But it's your £5. And on top of that, it's your £5.
Tina there, the wife there, she's hiding over there in the corner. She got she lost €20 tonight. She dropped it out in Salt Hill Pond. So some
fucker down in Salt Hill now is delighted with himself.
Yeah, that's what.
Fair play to them. It'll make their day.
Go, fair play to you, Tina. Just from honestly,
She honestly came in and said that. She actually came in and said, that'll probably make someone's day. The full story of it was that she owed her mate €20, so they were going walking together, and she was trying to pay it by Revolut, was it? And it wouldn't work for ages. And then eventually she said, I'll meet you and I'll give you the €20. And then she was walking down the prom, and obviously you pulled some of your pocket, and obviously the €20 went with it and was gone. And then her friend, who she's owed this €20 to for about 2 months, was like, oh, here's it's gone.
And she lost her bank card. Maybe we got pickpocketed.
She lost her bank card. She just had to tell me.
Here. Jesus Christ. You see, I've always been against the idea of putting chips in us to pay money and stuff like that in the bank. You know, they talk about putting a chip in your hand to cover all your cash now. Yeah. I'll tell you, they could just hold hands, and before you know it, they've swapped to 20 quid.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's it.
Isn't that an unbelievable? Fair play to Tina. That is an unbelievably positive outlook to have. To go, I lost money, but you look at some who is going to be delighted with themselves.
Yeah, it's probably the best way to look at it. I come home like an antichrist.
I don't know though. I think people are swinging hard back the other way. Like with I was kind of said that in the post, like that. I think people are getting a bit more zen. They're getting a little less materialistic when it comes, because they realize, all this stuff is complete and utter shite.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is like, if you think
about albeit, Amazon is absolutely fucking bouncing off the limiter at the minute. Like, they're selling so much shit, and Wish is probably selling so much shit. But we're after clearing out the fuck. We sent a truck away the other day with stuff, and we'll probably end up owing the fucking auction money. It's such a bad return for your fucking. It's not an investment at all. It's just getting stuff out of the house. And we had another deep fucking purge the other day. Shit that wasn't needed. Like stuff now, we got a couple out, got a statue, I remember, for our wedding of some relation or something. And apparently this fucking artist is worth a fortune. But the fucking thing was underneath the sink for the last fucking 3 years. So stuff like that, you know what I mean? Stuff that's under the sink or inside in the cupboard for fucking 3 years. Going full minimalism. Telling you now, full bare fucking walls, fucking nothing.
You were talking about going minimalism.
It's
it's like it's hard to do though, isn't it? Well, I suppose you're trying to do it, but like even this house here, like just can't. No matter how big the house is, like we've gone from a small apartment to a slightly bigger apartment. We bought our house. We just can't fit everything we have into the house.
Yeah.
You know,
I have a lad. Now it's not until after Christmas because he's flat out with his own podcast. But he's written a minimalistic book and everything. He's fucking tearing around America with the fucking thing. But his outlook, like it's pulling the trigger. It really is like it's the Band-Aid. We have to go. Like, did you ever see the little Japanese one that goes into people's houses to rearrange it? Oh, what's her name? 1 second. Does it give you spark? That's her thing. Like cheeky bitch. Like she doesn't even.
Was it?
It's not Marie Kondo. Abida Tina. Marie Kondo. That's it. She
whispering over.
Yeah, I'm telling you though, she's fucking now. Some of her old stuff is a bit woo woo now. You know, I can't really buy what Marie is selling because Marie goes into somebody's house and the cheeky bitch can't even speak English. Do you know? She's gone in. She has. She honestly, she's got balls of steel. She's like fucking Trapattoni when he was managing Ireland. The fucker wouldn't even learn fucking hello. He just had a highly paid interpreter with him all the time, like same as Joanne. Yeah. She goes into people's houses and her whole thing like is gone. Does this give you a buzz? Owning this fucking t-shirt, owning this guitar, owning this fucking extra pair of wellies. Does it give you a buzz owning them? And most of the stuff people are kind of going. Actually, when I asked myself that question, no, I haven't worn that jacket in fucking 7 years. You caught me. So fuck it up. And her thing was just fuck it out. You could see people nearly crying, going, no, I fucking need that thing. Nah, you don't fucking need it.
Yeah. I was like, Tina's dad, he passed away a few years ago, but he was kind of like a hoarder. He had like, you wouldn't believe where the house, like he used to go to car boot sales, and we brought him a few times, like, and but you want to see, like, I have like a lot of his tools in my shed now, but like he'd go get a set of Allen keys, and maybe it's one Allen key out of it. So then the next time he's there, he'd buy another set of Allen keys that would have that. One that he's missing. But then he's missing 2 out of this one. So then he'd go the next time and he'd get another set of Allen keys that have the 2 he's missing. And all of a sudden, like, and then there's about 100 sets of Allen keys, but none of them complete. They're all different sizes, like. But,
it's a slippery slope.
Oh, yeah, like I could see how it happened. But I was like,
But lockdown was the best thing that ever happened. My old lad, the garage at home, it's a fucking big old garage, and you should have seen like the place was up in a heap because he was just working so much, never got fucking time to tidy it. He tidied it over lockdown, the first lockdown. He tidied the fuck out of the thing. The man found 3 chainsaws when he thought he'd no chainsaws. How do you lose 3 chainsaws? He was full sure. He says, "I'm after leaving that fucking chainsaw." He thought he'd only one. And that he was after leaving it down someplace and some fucker was after robbing it. And he discovered 3 chainsaws inside, and along with at least doubles of fucking everything inside in the place. So he was delighted with himself. But even I was saying to him, I was just fucking, why do you need 3 chainsaws? Now, the only thing about my old lad is that he will definitely bust one of them chainsaws. And he will need the second one quite quickly afterwards. So you can understand that, but I tell you, it was absolutely cleansing getting rid of all that shit. Getting rid of fucking stuff that just wasn't needed, man. Like, more so it was because the big clean out happened 3 years ago. Fucking stuff we'd had big carrying around from house to house with us. And we got rid of a ton. And this now was just a nice update. And it was all out like that of fucking pictures and stuff that mean nothing. Do you know what I mean? With a yoke hanging in the fucking downstairs toilet. I don't know what it was. It was supposed to be some old museum picture or something of fucking animal skeletons. It was a pile of bollocks. Like, never once looked at it and thought, delighted to have that now. That's great. That's a bit educational. That's great. Nah. That went in the truck. Like I said, you'll make nothing of it. But fucking hell, And I haven't gotten to the bottom of this. I don't know. I might end up having a mental breakdown because all my stuff is gone. But
like that thing though, isn't it? Like as a Murphy's Law or something, like where when you get rid of something is when you need it. Like how many times?
Oh yeah.
Do you know, more so probably in construction, you know, or I always find that when I get rid of something, you know, like I have fucking something in my toolbox for about 2 years and I throw it out, and that's the next time the next job I go to, I need that fucking part that I just threw out that's sitting in my toolbox.
I suppose, but in that context, you physically use those too. But when I'm looking at a plaque that's on the wall that we got given or turned up. No, actually, these 2 yokes, they're made out of lead. Bought years ago going into an old brick and brack fucking shop. And they're hanging on the wall. And you're going, what? Like that will never be of any use to anybody. Get them out to fuck. Like dirty yokes are only gathering fucking dust. So, I said...
Well, we got a lot when we moved into the house. People buy Jesus, I don't want that. I don't, you know, I'm just going to have to keep this locked away somewhere for when you come around, so I can just put it out and pretend.
Give me an example. You're not hanging anybody out to dry, but just you don't have to tell me exactly what. But give me an example of what kind of thing you're talking about.
When we moved in, I say my dad anyway, because I told him straight out, but my dad got me a fruit bowl. Okay, so it was like a fruit bowl. It was all wire, so you know, almost like wire wrapped around the bowl. And out of the top of the bowl came this kind of I don't know what you call it, even almost like a hook. Well, it ended up being a hook that hung, so you could hang your bananas over your.
Oh, fuck me!
It looked fucking like. It looked like something like a fucking. And I had to pretend I liked it, and I was going to put fruit in it, but I was also going to hang bananas off it so the bananas wouldn't be in the bowl. And I was just like, I ended up just saying, look, I probably won't use that. We have a fruit bowl already. I don't know. But yeah, he wasn't very happy with me for a while. So even if he sees this, he'd know.
Well, it's setting out your stall though. I set out the stall years ago. When we did that house, myself and the brother, we were living in it. And when we rebuilt that old house, we built it as I say in these house programs, contemporary, but it was fucking new, like, you know what I mean? And we made it a point to not have a mantelpiece, to not have any ledges. Like we did cushioned windowsills with the purpose that you cannot put anything on it. Didn't give a fuck who sat on it, if anybody never sat in the things. I remember getting housewarming gifts, and physically, because they knew I was kind of ignorant and the brother was ignorant enough, there was no surprise when we went, "Have you the receipt for that? Because take that back, because I did it. I remember doing. Jesus, if only there was TikTok back in the day. But I remember making a video, all right, on my phone of there were a load of figurines that my parents hated that they'd gotten from fucking people. Do you know when somebody comes back from Lanzarote or some prick of a place and they brought you a yoke made out of fucking lava? It's not lava at all. It was made in China. And it says, "I love Lanzarote" up the side of it, like it's a fucking owl. Well, they did a load of them all yokes because the foreign lads thought the old lad loved them. He made a big deal about a foreign lad that was working. He brought him back this thing from some kip. And he went, "Oh, jeez, that's great. 2 salt shakers in the shape of 2 islands. That's lovely. Now, what can I do with this shit?" And, of course, all the lads started bringing him stuff. And one of the days, we filmed it and put it all on a back fence. And with a double-barrel shotgun, emptied 2 shells and blasted the shit out of every one of them. And we filmed it now. Well, I wish it was now. You know what I mean? We shot about 40 of these fucking things. Everything from fucking Santa Ponza loves you fucking to horrible fucking things, like horrible things. That was the big thing with this, was just going out yokes that I'm not saying fuck out everything, but I definitely got great benefit from going, owl yolks that have no use around the place at all. Like I said, a plaque hanging on a fucking wall from, the two of them, I don't even fully know. I think they were probably fucking British or something, army or something. They were old, but they were just fucking, again, a yoke of no fucking use whatsoever. Like,
I like that thing that you said about the mantelpiece. Like, I think it's grown up in the 80s, 90s Ireland, and every mantelpiece
wedged.
was wedged. You couldn't get enough fucking stuff onto a fucking mantelpiece. And we used to have these porcelain figurines on ours at home, like little fucking English boys and girls with fucking umbrellas and shit. Like, and we had this clock. I fucking hated it. It's like a boy and a girl holding the clock up, but they were the most un-Irish fucking brother and sister I've ever seen. Like, I go, what the fuck do we? And I was like adamant then. I remember my mother and father separated, and my dad kind of stuff was kind of all over the place for a while. And I just said to my dad, just take everything off the mantelpiece. Like, don't put anything on it. And now there's just a couple of candles on either side, and that's it. Like, But saying that, our mantelpiece now just over there is starting to get full. But I suppose it happens, doesn't it?
That's it.
As much,
And I tell you now, you'll be in your 50s, and before you know it, it'll be fucking rammed with shit. You'll have actually taken off the mantelpiece and gotten a big old window board, maybe 9 or 10 inches deep, and you'll have to build an extension onto your fucking mantelpiece just to take the scour people are going to be giving you now. No, it's a horrific situation. Yeah, there was sort of I remember the grandmother died years ago, and she had a big old sideboard. I know what use this fucking thing was. Monstrous fucking thing. It was the size of a fucking car. And because my uncle had worked in Waterford Crystal for years as a glassblower, sure, of course, all sorts of yokes were brought home. And they were pride and place, of course, because he was a master craftsman or whatever. But they were all horrific of the 80s. You know what I mean? They were like two crystal fish. Well, isn't that just lovely? Two crystal fish looking at you when you walk into the room. Oh my suffering sweet Jesus!
Fish, yeah. We used to have. If anyone that has any relations to worked in Waterford Crystal, all he got was Waterford Crystal. Like, we had boxes of Waterford Crystal in our attic because we couldn't fit them around the house. This stuff is like, you'd see fucking. I remember seeing Matt Home and Away years ago, and your man fucking had a whole chest of drawers, things full, a cabinet full of Waterford Crystal, and you used to always talk about it on Home and Away, and I was going, we fucking stuck in boxes in the attic that fucking see the light of day because we do much shit.
Yeah, it was the shit back in the day. It was the shit worldwide, but pure fucking dirt when it gets to somebody's house. But the cleanse of it, because now literally when we do make the move, it'll be all fitted in. I'll bring up the Jeep like in a trailer, and that's it. Be fucking gone. Because the big warning we took was with the youngster. That was the big warning we took, because people were going before. Like, when you start looking into the stats, your average toddler by age 2 has over 300 toys. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And you give our young fella down the box, and he's happier out with it, like, because you know what I mean. This is it, But so we've now made it a policy. He'll have a dozen toys, and when he hits the dozen mark, the 13th one gone. Given it, you even either donate it if it's in good nick, because a couple of yokes came there that were pure shite, like, and you're just going, you couldn't be letting the young flat that fucking thing, like, But and then a couple of yokes are pure advanced. You'd hardly go at him yourself, but just pass him on. And again, sure, he spends most of his day pulling the fucking head off the dog. So, again, it's just a. But it was But I started back. Have you? I don't know. You or Tina tried this. Started back, meditate. I know it's the most un-Irish thing of all time. Like, no, I'm telling you now. When you see, it depends on, I suppose, the kind of person. And if your head is like my brain never stops fucking running. I can't cool the fucking thing down. Alcohol is the only fucking thing that slows it down. Like, it's the only thing. And even then, I'm going. Do you know, it'd be a great idea? It's a dreadful fucking idea. But normally I'll ring a teetotaler friend to go, like, Gordo. Gordo! No, that's a dreadful idea, Tom. That's just fucking... But I started backing it. I tell you one thing. It clears the fucking head. I'm probably doing it wrong. I don't know what is right or wrong with the fucking thing. But it's some yoke for clearing the head. And the lack of fucks you give after 10 minutes of what's going on, you know, in the world, or what's going on that you were worrying about or cribbing about, gone. After 3 or 4 days of kind of getting good at it. And all it is just sitting silent. I know other people have chants and all that kind of thing. I don't know what that, but if it's just sitting silent, it's unfucking real. I downloaded an app, and it's literally, there's a million of them there, so they're all the same thing, I'm guessing. And all it was is just the sound of wind. Just fucking lovely. Just the sound of wind. I bet some voiceover artists, it's not real wind at all. They just probably got somebody to just blow into a microphone, just whistling ever so often.
You know, just on a complete side note there, just when you said the wind, when in third class of school, in the school I was in, we always had to do you did a nativity play, and there was about fucking 30 of us rammed into a fucking little classroom. So the nativity doesn't have 30 people in it, but we all had to do our audition for it. But I got me and so our job was not to or anything, just to sit behind the stage and then go make the sound of wind when the time came along. But the fellow ended up playing Joseph, and was better at the wind than us, so he came back and did the wind for us.
That's known as SFX nowadays, Dave. Yeah, that's what you hear. I can't believe, like, I don't know, is that a really imaginative teacher or an absolute bollocks going, fucking wind.
Yeah. What am I going to do with fucking 30 lads? I can't have...
I don't know. What did I... Oh, I ended up being... I don't know where Joseph fitted into it all, but some way I ended up being Joseph. And the only thing, like, it's a country, rural area. People don't have costumes. There was a lot of tea towels tied to heads and whatnot, like, you know.
Yeah,
Do you know, it's not like today where you can get a fucking, you know, a period correct 2,000-year-old fucking Arabic fucking outfit. Of course, yeah. Excuse me, I believe that's from the Persian region. It's not. It's just Damascus cloth, is it? Jesus, you know. But I remember, the only thing that I don't know why it seemed to make sense, but I remember wearing a karate suit, or a gi, as they were known as. I don't know, and nobody pulled me up on it. Well, I suppose I was maybe 5 or 6 years of age. I don't know. It just seemed like, well, this seems like a logical fucking notion anyway. Who knew? You know, maybe he was Krav Maga or whatever comes out of Israel. You know, they have their own martial arts. And nobody seemed to make any inroads on it at all. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't. Some kid was dressed as a lion. I don't know what. But then again, there were some special youngsters in our school. It was. But what I had is, yeah, go on. Sorry, yeah.
The only other thing I can remember from that so long ago was that it's obviously we were in an all boys school, so they had no one to play Mary. But there was one kid, and he was only in our class for like a year.
Yeah.
But he was like a year older, so he came from somewhere else. He was a year old. He was way bigger than all of us, and he used to kick the shite out of us all. Like, he was a big bully, and like, say the kids in our class that were bullies, they all ganged up on him one day. So it was like 4 or 5 of our bullies against him. He still kicked the shit out of him.
Dave, are you sure this wasn't a teacher that came in around the place and just some big hair? Who's that hairy young fella?
Yeah, in my head now, when I look back, he was way bigger than us. Like, but the teacher that we used to have in third class had a bell. She used to ring a bell when we had to come in. One of the lads caught a bell and he fucked it off this kid's head. and he put a dent in his head. The teacher came in and he had a dent in his head, and we're all like fighting. And then, as punishment, he had to play Mary in the nativity. So the biggest fella out of the class was in blue in robes, dressed as Mary, and the rest of us were all tiny. And we were.
Who's this big bitch? Who's this big Mary bitch? Sure, this is. I love how that. I love how this that nowadays Jesus. That would be kind of seen as, you know, the kid is identifying or whatever, and he should be allowed to be gender neutral. It's like, excuse me, I'm Mary. Thank you very much. I was only saying it the other day. I was talking with herself. We were talking about the mad fuckers that went to school because there was still corporal punishment in our school. Like, it was just fucking mental when you think about it, clattering children in the 80s. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
We were on a Ramble Pod recently. Yeah. Like, were you talking to someone else?
Oh, it was Fred. Yeah.
Yeah, we had one Christian brother when I first started primary school, and he was the very last one. We thought he was the last one in Ireland. That's what kids would say.
Like the last samurai.
I remember he was the prince. Yeah, he was a nice guy. Like, but I have one memory of him. Like, I was terrified of him, but he caught one of the guys one day. He was a year above me, and we had a big wall off our primary school main road, and he hung this kid by his ankles. And the kid was laughing, so he wasn't scared. It was like a joking thing. But it was like my second day in school, and I was fucking terrified. I was like, this huge man is holding this kid by his ankles. Oh, like, I'm not joking. If you ever dropped him, he'd be dead. Like, it was that much of a problem. But no, like, that's what happened back then. Like, you know, no one, like, there must be people walking up and down that street seeing it. But all I can remember is being absolutely fucking shaken, like terrified, going, I'm never doing anything wrong in this fucking school. This fella's a fucking lunatic. And that's what all my memory of Christian brother is, fucking that fucking. And he was actually a nice guy, like, he wasn't like the worst. But
yeah, everybody has their breaking points too, doesn't it? Because you can imagine a teacher, like, because I've mates who are teachers and they've all said, oh man, there's times when I want to go across the fucking table and smash their face down into it, but I can't, let alone actually do that. I can't even approach them with some strong verbals nowadays, like, because you got to talk them into it and go, well, maybe, you know, if we negotiate, you know. But all the mad fuckers, though, whatever it is, I'm saying this to ourselves, all the mad whores that I went to school with, like lads in primary school, especially lads who, you know, they like to chew on tables and stuff like that. Just, you know, every one of them, I can think of at least 6 of them, every one of them went on to make a fortune at something. And I often say, like, you need to be thick enough too. Sometimes, like, you know, just you don't give a bollocks, you just go balls out and go, fuck it. Right. Like, somebody had to think fidget spinners was a good idea and make them, you know what I mean? And a logical person wouldn't. They go, nah, lads, fuck off. Well, they're just bits of bearings that came out of a thing. Like, would you go away? Like, trust me, kids are going to love these and stick stickers and shit all over them and spin them. But what else do they do? No, they just spin them. That's it. They just spin them. That's it. Spin.
I suppose it does take a certain type of fucking lunatic to, well, not lunatic, but just like,
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Going with it.
Because everything in your brain is going to be telling you, nah, there's too many pitfalls here, like, but just balls out, just going, yeah, whatever. And I remember that was the outlad's favorite phrase. If, you know, he's thick enough. Just, you don't want to be too thick, or you don't want to be too smart. Just, if you're thick enough, that's where you want to be at, like. Yeah, play fucking ignorant. Don't be worried about it. And I genuinely think that's what's going to come out of COVID, is the world of people are just going to turn around and go, fuck all that. Fuck all that. Because you see, everybody, like, nobody has done themselves up in months. I'd say fucking cosmetics have shit the bed. Do you know what I mean? Like, actual Top Man or wherever people get decent fucking fashionable gear has shit the bed. There's nobody gives a bollocks anymore. Everybody's just rambling around like hillbillies. They don't give a bollocks. And you can put a mask on and not even be recognised as looking like a fucking hillbilly. Like, Everybody's dressing like me is what I'm trying to say, Dave. I'm going to... Yeah, the Moulet, I don't know how much further this thing is going to go. It's herself actually had, like, it was, my hair all my life has taken 7 seconds to dry after the shower because it was about as long as yours. It just, there's no hair dryer needed. It's getting to a point now, Dave, where it'll sit there wet for 3 hours. So herself actually walked in last night. She was like, I have to turn the hair dryer on you, Tom. You look like a fucking wet dog. You're going to start smelling at the corner of the room. I said, oh, go on, go for it. And I put the picture up last night. It was literally, it wasn't it fucking mental. My whole hair just exploded. So I don't know. I don't know how far this thing is going to go or where we're going to end up with this story that is my ridiculous fucking hair. I tempted though to really let it go, Dog the Bounty Hunter, like, and down nearly to my arse, like just to annoy the shit out of people.
Oh yeah, you definitely recommend.
Yeah,
anyway.
just fucking let it flow out. Let it flow out. I meant to say it before I head away. I got asked to put it in the book. I don't know whether it fucking pop up, but the 22nd of December, they're hoping to have a show. If they go to level 3, I don't know. Hoping to have a show in the Ocean Dove. It's still in the book. I haven't but it's written in pencil, if you know what I mean. It's who knows? Nobody knows. I know everybody's going, do you think we will? Nobody fucking knows. Even the people that would make the law won't know, but that may be.
They could go level 3 and then back up to level 5 or do something for Christmas.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know.
I would imagine live performances probably won't be. I mean, that was a push at best. And there were certain points where I was going, like even that one we did in Salt Hill, I'm not entirely sure how legal that was. I mean, it wasn't a great gig. It was a lovely setting, but sure, I mean, it's out in the fucking, and we're all rusty as shit too, like, but it was a lovely setting, but I don't think that was fully legal. I sure as shit, the last gig I did, I wasn't technically legal either, because by the time I was still on stage, I should have been back in County Wicklow. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The Ocean one, was it?
I mean, technically, but
that was a great gig. That was just fucking.
But it was. But you get a sense when you walk out and the audience are the way they are. You know what I mean? It was completely. Everybody was just everybody was in the goo. You know what I mean? It was just fucking lovely. Everybody was on it. It was like, oh, this is the thing. Sure, like I said, they asked me to go a bit longer because Joe Caulfield's Zoom shit the bed, and I went to over an hour just from fluting around and you were hanging around with the audience is what you were doing that night, like verbally.
That hour went so quick as well. Like I couldn't even. It just was so. It went so quick.
Yeah,
so good and everything.
Yeah,
it didn't feel like an hour.
Well, that was what the room felt like, smooth wise. Everybody everybody was, and it was almost a melancholy because we all knew it was going to be the last fucking gig in the country. It was like
Yeah, that was the last day, wasn't it? It was literally.
I opened fucking lockdown and I closed lockdown myself in car, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, mad, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I was there.
Were. Right, Dahi, this has been lovely. I don't know. We've been trying to get on this. When we managed, we're still talking nearly the guts of an hour and all the rest of it. Great to have you. So you've been this week's guest. Technically, you've been this week's guest. Jesus Christ, you've been supporting comedy for long enough. You deserve it. So.
Yeah, if anyone wants to hit me up, just my Patreon is.
Do everybody follow Dave? Is it Davey Python on both Instagram? Man, that is the most male stripper name. I meant to say that to you. You're like...
I was just thinking, Monty Python. I like Monty Python. Let's make a fucking email out of this. And then when you go for your first job interview and you have to cut your fucking... Yeah, then I have...
Yeah, Davey Python. It's like... You're bigging yourself up some which way. Because nobody's going to put the two together. Nobody. I kind of guessed there was a Python-esque thing in there, but because it's, like if your name was Marty Python, you go, oh, maybe. But just sticking Davey in there's like you just crowbar that in. And now you sound like you dance for gay men for money. But hey, no, not only gay men. A lot of maybe enthusiastic middle-aged women. Yeah, of course. Right, Davey. You're this week's guest. Thank you very much for joining me. And of course, Tina, who I don't believe is a real person. She just you just hire her out whenever whoever that lady is that you bring to gigs. There she is. How are you, Tina? I still believe you hire her out just for that moment. You text her, she's like, look, would 50 quid just sit in for 2 seconds? Anyway, I know where to send all my figurines that we still have underneath the fucking stairs. So I'll bring them to the next gig, Dave. Mind yourself. Good luck.